Chris Kenyon. The junior, number 14, Chris Bowen. Number 15 is a junior, Dan Netto. 35 is a junior, Jason Acorn. Junior number 45, an injured player, Brian Bragg. Number 50 is a sophomore, John Hanley. Junior number 55, Mike Hamill. Sophomore number 25, Nick Gordon. Now for the home team, the Bulldogs, coached by Mike McGee. Beginning with sophomore number 10, John Hiltz. 12 the sophomore, Chris Winchell. Junior number 20, Josh Patterson. 22 is a junior, Kern Kelly. Senior number 24, Ryan Witham. Junior number 30, Greg Harrison. 32 is a junior, Keith Knight. Senior number 50, Andy Gogan. 52 is a junior, Jeremiah Nolan. Now for your starters, beginning with the Panthers. He's a sophomore forward, number 44, Brian Scott. For the Bulldogs, forward, he's a junior, number 34, Alan Richard. For the Panthers, a junior guard, number 33, Darren Meter. The Bulldogs, a junior guard, number 42, Tommy Reynolds. For the Panthers, a senior guard, number 20, Travis Dustin. For the Bulldogs, a junior forward, number 44, Billy Cole. For the Panthers, a senior forward, number 30, Steve Hildreth. For the Bulldogs, a senior guard, number 14, Kelly Dyer. And for the Panthers, he's a senior at center, number 40, Chris Scott. And for the Bulldogs, a senior guard, number 40, Aaron Harris. Your officials for this game, Mr. Thurston and Mr. Butchard.
Well, we are about on schedule. We're scheduled for 9:35. It's 9:40, Willie. I like to stay on schedule when you have an 8-game day, don't you?
Yes, especially when you get to do the last one of the evening.
11 o'clock tonight, we'll be thinking in that term. Lawrence and Waterville, the Panthers have got to do it the third time. The Bulldogs want to stop that. It's as simple as that. Dyer, Richards, Harris, Reynolds, and Cole for Lawrence. Dustin, Hildreth, Meter, Scott, and Scott going for Waterville. Remember now, Harris needs 3 for Lawrence, and he's a 1,000-point scorer. That's the magic plateau of these recent years. Do you have an asterisk before pre-3 points and post-3 points for 1,000 points? I mean, you just put it in as 1,000 now. What about the guys who 20 years ago didn't have a chance for the 3-pointer?
That's exactly right.
All right, we're about ready to go. Darren Meter going in there against Harris. The tap controlled by the Purple Panthers. They'll be moving to the left. First shot, Brian Scott misses off, no good, and here we go. Lawrence coming down with the ball. Bounce pass out to Kelly Dyer at the near side. Baseline move. It's up and down by Richards. No basket. That's a player possession foul.
Both these coaches, McGee and Lindlof, stress real aggressive man-to-man, help side, team defense. Is what you saw there. You get beat, somebody picks him up, takes a player control foul.
I think that's well put, Willie. It's going to be a defensive battle as much as anything else. Travis Dustin with it for the Waterville Panthers, behind the back, top of the key. This is both on the radio and TV today, so we'll give you the full play-by-play. From the right side, it is Dustin off, no good for Waterville. Locked loose and blocked underneath. Coming down with it for Lawrence will be Reynolds. Takes it into the near side corner. Swings it out to the top of the key. We're just underway. Tommy Reynolds. Deep shot. Off. No good by Aaron Harris. Back up. It is off short by Richards. No good. Waterville will come down the other way with it. Dustin on the dribble. Sets it up at the top of the key to Steve Hildreth. Darren Meter. He's the key for them offensively for Waterville. Handling the basketball. Brian Scott on the bounce off to Chris Scott. We'll keep those two Scotts separated for you for the 12-6 Purple Panthers. No score. Hildreth. I like his name already. Here's a shot off the iron by Meter. No good. So the Stars have not hit yet. We are scoreless. How do you prepare a team for a 9:30 a.m. game, really? Is there anything different you tell your kids?
Kids don't know it. At that age, they could play at 1 in the morning and still be the same thing.
Foul is going to be charged at Travis Dustin on the drive by Reynolds. Well, you know, I noticed that the coach for Waterville, for Lawrence, McGee, kept talking about it being a night game. And that's true. When you get in here, you don't know the difference day and night, do you? Baseline drive up and down by Aaron Harris. He's 1 point away from 1,000. He has 9-9-9 now with that hoop. Coming down court with it, the Panthers. Teams only 8 points separated them over 2 battles during the regular season. Meter floats it. He evens it up. The 2 Stars are at it now. Darren Meter. His dad will be with us a little bit later on as a commentator today. All right, Lawrence Bulldogs with the basketball, tied at 2-2, 5:42 to go in the first period of action. A 3-point attempt from deep out there by Billy Cole. Missed it. Coming down with it, the Waterville Purple Panthers. Out to Scott. That's going to be Chris Scott at 6'4", and Brian is at 6'2". Rugged guys for the Panthers. Swing the ball out to the left side. A little hesitation inside. Meter has the ball taken away on a bounce pass. Lawrence will come back the other way. Tommy Reynolds at midcourt. Should be low scoring. We expect a lot of defense in the ball game. It won't be a slowdown game, Willie, but they will, as you say, play the D. Long 3-point shot, good by Aaron Harris.
1,002.
He's over the 1,000-point marker with that one. There's a floater off, no good by Meter. Knocked loose, and here comes Harris the other way. Aaron changes hands, stops, has the ball stripped away. Steve Hildreth took it out of it, tied his shoes, came the other way with it. It is 5-2, Lawrence in the lead. Out deep it goes to Brian Scott. Bounce pass onto the right side to Steve Hildreth. Baseline, floater, no good, but a foul on Tommy Reynolds.
The reason a lot of this is looking so sloppy on both ends. Both teams are running a basic motion offense. Rules for that: screen away, screen somebody, and that's why it looks as though there's a lot of confusion. It is confusion, but it's organized confusion.
Yes, motion offense often is. Everybody's picking somebody up, so you probably will have a reasonable number of fouls in the ballgame. The foul shot is good by Travis Dustin. 5-3. Winslow girls have beaten Bangor in the opening game of the 8-game day. This is the longest day. Off the back, no good. Back to Waterville. Pops it up, no good. Dustin.
Now remember what Kenny Lindloff said at the beginning of the game. It'll be down to basics. He believes rebounding will determine the outcome.
Lawrence coming down with the basketball. Reynolds picked up man-to-man. Dustin, they cross-court pass to Dyer. Dyer makes the move to the foul line, kicks the ball out to Harris for 3, and he got it. And it is 8-3, a 5-point lead for Lawrence. They were 15-3 on the regular year. A very good team. Stolen out in front by Reynolds. He'll go in for the easy one. Off the glass and in, and it is 10-3, and that's time for a Waterville timeout. Kenny Lindloff knows he's got to stop it right now. We'll be back. I'm sure that Aaron Harris will have this in his video library for 3 and 1,000.
Got them all. I think what Kenny Lindloff was doing that timeout was saying, fellas, look, why are we doing that? That's not what I told you to do. Get your heads on and let's get it organized.
All right, Dustin coming down, gets a pick out to the right side, looking into the corner now. Waterville down by 7 early on. Cross court it goes. Over to Brian Scott. Scott puts it down into the corner, trying to get away from his tormentor Richards, and 5-second call. Closely guarded situation. That's a turnover.
Something you don't see too often.
Do not? I don't think I call that very much this year. I haven't called it many games, but you don't see that call a lot. All right, Tommy Reynolds, very good ball player. There's a long one for 3 by Aaron Harris against the pressure.
You talk about having the feeling of being in a zone. He's 3 for 3 from out there, both sides of the court, and those are downtown.
13-3, back door easily up and down by Brian Scott. 13-5, and Lawrence did not get back and protect. They got him on the back door. All right, Reynolds now looking for somebody cutting. Comes up high with it, stripped away by Waterville. Nice steal. Out in front comes Hildreth, goes in, he's stripped back. Kicks the ball in, it'll come back out to Meter. Meter will kick it back to the top of the key. It's in the air, no good by Brian Scott, and a foul on the rebounding action against Lawrence High School.
That was just a foul of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. When you get a breakdown, such as transition like that, off a steal, loose ball at the other end, you don't have anybody to check on the offensive board. And that's what happens. You go for the ball, you run into somebody. It's just a foul being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Alan Richards guilty of the foul. Waterville will put the ball in from underneath their own basket. Trailing 13-5 in this A quarterfinal game. Out in front it goes to Meter. Meter is the key offensively. He needs a big day, but he has to have some help too. Chris Scott with it. Steve Hildreth. There's the screen and the move. A little short jumper that's good by Dustin. That's going to make it 13-7.
Pump fake, dribble, pump fake, let it go.
I didn't think he was ever going to let it go. He was having fun with it. Reynolds handling the ball out toward midcourt. It comes now. Waterville trailing the Lawrence Bulldogs. They have a great tournament tradition, both of them, dating way back in the lane. Harris, no good. Second shot, no good. Off the leg of a Waterville player. Hildreth a moment ago. A television audience is seeing instant replays. A radio audience listening to it, Willie.
That's what you try and do. Get that defensive player up in the air.
Trying to cover both bases here today. Down to the right side, back out in front it goes. There's a three-point attempt off, no good by the outside is shooting Billy Cole. It's out of bounds. This one will go off to Waterville. The Purple Panthers will send in their first sub. Hamill will come in for Waterville. Coming out of there will be Scott. Mike Hamill is a 6'2 junior. Just checking in for Waterville. Now Lawrence is going to make a sub 2. Kelly Dyer is in there. Reynolds is out. They've made another sub. We'll pick it up.
Yeah, they're changing up on Meter now.
Goggin is in there.
Fresh defensive player on Meter.
Out on the right side. Here comes Dustin with it on the dribble. Kicks it back out to Meter. Meter's got an immediate ball player wearing him like a glove. He'll have all kinds of fun getting his shots off today. That's what this game is all about. There's a deep shot out, no good. Put up by Acorn, I believe, was checked in the lineup. It is, and he missed the shot. It goes out, and it'll be a Waterville ball from underneath. Keyed in inbounds by Acorn. Number 35 just in. Reynolds back, and going out will be Aaron Harris. Well, they take their star out and rest him with 1:23 to go in the first period. Inbounds for Waterville. Out to Meter, who's going in there. He has some immediate attention. He drives, he stops, foul line extended left. It's around and out, no good. Underneath, a pushing foul again on the rebounding action. Waterville had some opportunities here. The fouls start to mount up. That is the 4th team foul against Lawrence. It's a hacking foul underneath, and it's going to be charged to Goggin, who just checked into the ball game. Now this will be a shooting foul. Steve Hildreth, 6'1 player, will be on the line for Waterville. Very critical, I would think, for Waterville to make their foul shots today, Willie. They're going to have to take advantage of every scoring opportunity.
I think the old adage, which is more important, the one in the first quarter or the one at the end of the game.
These are vital because you don't want to get down so that they're into a transition type they don't want to be into. 13-8. Steve Hildreth, senior at 6'1. Puts it up there again, and it's around and out. No good. This time, Goggin grabs the ball for the Bulldogs. Lawrence High School leading it 9-8. Had some big upsets in their year. This year, they're one of the top favorite teams. A floater to good by Reynolds. A little soft shot, 15-8. Out to the right side now. Waterville on the attack. Out to Dustin. Dustin takes it on the dribble toward the right side. Looking to lob it inside. 3 seconds. Tommy Reynolds a moment ago came down, changed hands, swung the ball around, double pumped, put it in. That's the kind of action that we'll get here. 48 seconds to go. We're in the first period. The Waterville Lawrence game is game 2. I have to only remember where I am. Game 3 coming up will be Nokomis and Coney girls. Will be up next. We'll have them all for you on Channel 5 today, most of them on WABI radio. We'll have some hockey to worry about tonight. All right, Lawrence on the attack. Down the paint is deflected. Waterville underneath, though. Goggins puts it up and in. Nice bucket. He had to work for it. 17-8. 20 seconds to go now here in this first quarter. Brian Scott for the Panthers, looking for that motion, looking for the cutter. Anybody come out and help. Hamill finally came out of the corner. Now he's got it on the move out toward midcourt again. There's the cutter, and he couldn't find him, and the ball loses a player down. That's the end of the first period. The last basket by Lawrence, Willie, was a really good dish and a deflection. We'll be right back. Back to live action at the Bangor Auditorium. Lawrence leading 17-8. They have the ball. Kelly Dyer with it. Shuffles the pass out to the left side. They're using a lot of people. Knights is in there. There's a deep shot for 3 that's going to miss. That's up by Aaron Harris. They get the ball back. Kelly Dyer with it. Back into Harris. Floats it up. Basket counts. He's fouled. Aaron Harris is a very talented performer.
Inside or outside?
Hit you with that 3. Look at him inside here, Willie.
Just a real talented individual as far as being able to draw people, control the body in the air, and still get the shot off.
He was hit hard as he went up. The foul is charged to Brian Scott. Tough kid, but he caught the foul. Harris puts it in. And that's 20-8. This is starting out to be a blowout, and Waterville has got to stop this. They've got to find some way to even this thing up a bit. 3-point loss and a 5-point loss, and now we'll have a foul on Dyer. But the way it's starting, it is not in the tempo or form Ken Lindlof likes.
Oh, and Harris heated up with those 3 threes outside, and then they got a couple of, the last one we saw at the end there was that deflection where he put it up and in. I mean, yeah, it's a 12-point ball game, but it's not a 12-point ball game.
No, it has not been close. Hildreth going down the left side for Waterville. Tough defense set up by Lawrence. A right on him, playing very strong. You're going to hand in your face at all times. They tried to go backdoor. They've done it twice. He missed it that time. Hildreth missed it underneath, and there's another foul on the rebounding action. That's one place seems available to them.
Well, they're getting a lot of help on that help side because of that motion offense. And all that's happening is someone's anticipating that an offensive player is going to go here, and all of a sudden they don't. They go on the backside, and they're looking around to find it.
Lawrence fouled by Knights. Waterville will put it in play. Brian Scott from underneath the basket, looking to get it out deep. There's Meter. He's open for 3. It's an air ball, but it's cleared underneath. Put up. Tap, no good. Tap is again no good. Rebound to Lawrence. Goggin came out of there with it. So that air ball got him in trouble. Now Lawrence throws it away.
That really was a heck of a pass.
Aaron Harris needed 3 points coming in. to meet 1,000. He has 14 in a little more than 1/4 of action. Is he hot or what? Hildreth. Out to Scott. Top of the key. The jumper is off. No good. Put up by Acorn. And the rebound quickly comes down to the Lawrence Bulldogs, who lead it 20-8 with 6:24 to go in the first half of activity. Here is Tommy Reynolds. Comes back out on top. They beat it in the paint. There's the shot. It counts as a foul. Billy Cole. Right in the paint.
Paul Bushard, the official who made the call, came running in after Cole had received the ball in the paint. He turns to the basket. He gets fouled. The whistle goes. Cole's all excited. He runs to the foul line, and here comes Bushard in to make the call, and Cole almost cleaned him out.
He knew he was going to the line. That's all he cared about. Billy Cole, 6'4".
Probably
Look at
about
his shoulders on him.
230.
Oh, he's a tough kid, isn't he?
And since Bushard stopped competing in the Mr. Olympiad contest, he's no match right now.
23-8. Ken Lindelof wants time. There's trouble in Waterville right now, and we'll be right back. Poor Tim Throckmorton, all alone. Nobody wants him. Nobody's asking for his autograph. Poor guy. Just.
I figured out why they were getting his autograph. A couple of kids came over, and he's been signing him, Michael Jordan.
You know why? Because Emily has all the talent in the family. All right, here we go. 23-8. Waterville being blown away here, and they need to try to stop the bleeding somehow. Brian Scott. Meter. They do get an open shot from Chris Scott.
Waterville's been getting the shots. They just haven't been making them. Last time down, before they took that timeout, they had 2 high percentage shots, missed them both.
Good comment. 23-10 now. Here is Reynolds. In the second period of activity, Speed goes back down inside, underneath, up and off, no good by Richards, knocked out of bounds to be a Waterville ball. Waterville is starting to get some drop on the ball. As Willie pointed out, they finally got it down into Chris Scott.
They've just got to make those. I mean, those are good shots. 5-8 feet from the hoop.
Waterville attacking now, trailing 23-10 with 5:22 to go in the first half. Chris Scott. Brian Scott playing catch with it off the top of the key to Hildreth. Then they spin it out to the right side. Back out on top it goes. Keep working it until they can get that 3, and that's the shot they want, and they miss it. Put up by Acorn, no good. They come back on a rebound, lose it out.
See what we say? A turnover is potentially 6 points. Or let's go back to the old school 4 points. You miss yours, the other team comes down. 4-point swing right there.
No question about it.
And that was not a takeaway. That was a turnover. There's a big difference.
An unforced error from the deep corner. It is 3 for Aaron Harris. Boy, he is a pure shooter, isn't he? 26-10. He's up around 17 points now. Back door. Waterville scores. There's Darren Meter getting it over the shoulder, and they do get that going for them. They've had 3 or 4 of those. Now they lose it in bounds, and Waterville comes right back, trailing 26-12. So the turnover hurts Lawrence in this case. Here is Brian Scott off to the right side. Chris from the top of the key. Meter off the iron, doesn't get it. And the rebound is knocked loose. Lawrence will have it down in the corner. Tommy Reynolds pushes the ball up over the midcourt. Down the paint, splits the defense, up and in. No basket. Fouled out front.
You talk about being in a zone. When you've got the feeling, you let him go. The rest of it will take care of itself. And Harris is certainly on the mark. What is he? 4 for 5. I have it. 3-point land.
I know he's got 17. That's good enough for me.
80%.
Tommy Reynolds. Tom puts it up. It's good. 27-12. Waterville getting set to put Hamill back in the ball game for the Purple Panthers. Ken Lundloff is an outstanding coach. There are times, though, that the coach can only do so much. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink, as the old saying goes. And they have not been in a good flow. And don't forget, McGee is doing a great coaching job the other way to get him out of that flow. Foul shot missing. Coming down court with the basketball now, Travis Dustin. Against tough man defense. Out in the left side corner to Hildreth. Drives the baseline. Going to throw a pass and hit the backboard in the iron, and Waterville will come away with it in the backcourt. That thing hit the rim on the pass. Couldn't do that if you tried to do it. Down low, back out in front it goes. Traveling. Turn it over.
Right now, Waterville, nobody wants the ball. Nobody wants to do anything offensively with it outside of Meter. You have to be aggressive offensively when you're down by 13. What are we, 13, 15? You can't look to just one. He had a 15-foot shot. Ball's got to go up.
White coming out of the backcourt with it. Lawrence. Here is Reynolds. They swing it out to the left side. Off the iron. No good. Richards knocked loose out. Harris was around the ball. That should give it over to Waterville. Waterville now trailing 27-12 with 3:23 to go. Coming in the ball game for Waterville will be a Meter coming back out of bounds. Dustin is in there.
You make the comparison between the two. Lawrence right now is much more aggressively offensively. All 5 players on the floor.
Meter off to the right sideline. On the top of the key goes to Hildreth. Flies one up and off. No good. The tap is no good. Rebound to Harris. He does it at both ends of the court. Down court with it, Kelly Dyer. 15-3, Lawrence, and they're looking like a team. I think many people think this is a team that has been forgotten this year. From the foul line, it's off by Cole, no good. Comes back out to Lawrence. Bulldogs shuffle it in the paint. There's a foul on the ground. Getting up underneath it all was Steve Hildreth. You know, everybody talked about Old Town and Bangor, then Badamic came along as the season progressed, and they went in point-wise #1. They're in the tournament today. But you didn't hear a lot about Lawrence in this area particularly.
No,
but Lawrence, they are tough year in and year out. Reynolds. Ball is loose and stolen. Acorn coming down for Waterville, picked up by Reynolds, and Reynolds bumped him and fouled him. Well, when you've got a team 15-3, the fans should not ignore them. And if you go back historically in this tournament, Lawrence High School many years has come in out of that Kennebec Valley League down there unheralded and won it all. Because people concentrate a little bit more sometimes, Willie, with the media center.
Sure.
That's what happens. They're a very good, strong team. Acorn on the line. Off the backboard, no good. Grabbing foul on the rebounding action. Now there's Timmy. Timmy Throckmorton finally got back on camera. He's getting a little respect now. He's in that suit. Hi, Tim. How are you? Great job. There's the guy right there. I wish he'd close his mouth a little bit there, though. Foul shot is good. Foul is by Meter. The foul was charged to Goggin. 27-13. Got to be hot in that suit. Somebody's working hard for their Panthers. Tap no good. Off the missed foul shot. And a whistle and a foul. That's going to be against Waterville. I do believe that's going to be on Hamill. He's stalking away. When a player stalks away all by himself, you kind of don't have to guess on the call. It's kind of a look of guilt. Kelly Dyer for Lawrence High School will put it in bounds into Reynolds. 27-13, Waterville behind the favored Lawrence Bulldogs. Not as close as the first 2 battles. Now there's a foul on a double team at half court. Darren Meter got into that double team situation and bumped and fouled him. You can't force a player to take a move to the backcourt. Very close calls. 2 minutes and 27 seconds to go. Tom Reynolds will be on the line. Good crowd on hand this morning. We had a wonderful crowd for the C last night. Foul loose. Foul shot loose. Rebound away to Waterville. They missed it. Coming down court with it's going to be Acorn. Out on top it goes to Meter. Meter puts it down to the court. Back out. Hildreth in the left side corner. With the basketball is Dustin. Trying to get the open shot. Can't find anybody. Hildreth swings it off to the right side. set up a weave to Dustin. Dustin goes to the right corner, fires for two. Nice bucket for the Waterville player. 27-15. They're not out of this if they can hit a bunch of those.
If they can go in under 10 or under, that's a pretty good effort on their part.
Steal by Dustin, re-steal by Lawrence. Nice save by Aaron Harris. Wow, he streaked down and got the ball back. Great shot by Aaron Harris there in the video that we have here of how you don't give up. Speed goes to the low side, knocked loose. Lawrence still in control. Cole with it, kicks it out. Minute 28 to go. Basket by Harris, and he's fouled. He's got 19, and he hit it under immense pressure. He may have 20. 30-15. $20 points, they give him the three. He has 5 3-point baskets. He's on for the 4-point play. Acorn fouled him. 30-15, they double the score. Aaron Harris for 20. That is a great first half for this guy. He needed 3 for 1,000. He's exceeded it by 17 in the first half. Now he's at 21 on a 4-point play. 31-15. He might be up in the 40s today. Dustin out to the right side to Hildreth. Waterville in major trouble in this ball game. Ball stolen away from him. Here comes Cole the other direction. Kelly Dyer over the left side. Waterville coming out to meet. Down into the corner, and a foul on Dustin as Harris is going to get golden opportunities here to score. As they try to get aggressive with him, he's making them eat their breakfast cereal.
I think Waterville realizes they're in a hole right now, to say the least, and they're a little over-anxious. That play was just mistiming.
Aaron Harris going up on the line for Lawrence. Harris is a senior at 6'3". Missed it. He is human, huh? Comes back to Cole. Waterville fighting for the ball, and they'll come up with it. Travis Dustin spins it out to the right side. A move down the lane, in and out, no good. Put up by Acorn. He got away with a travel. I thought going in, and there's a tie-up. The alternating possession rule will give it back to Waterville. Kind of hard to tell up here sometimes on those head fakes. It looks like there's a travel. You're never quite sure. Even the officials have trouble when they make that move. Comes back into Dustin. He jumps it up off the iron. They're not hitting. They come up inside, walking with the basketball. Charge to Hamel. .39 seconds to go, first half. The Winslow girls have won here, and Lawrence has taken a major leg up in this one. They've got 31 points, and they are leading by 16. Jumper from Harris off the iron. That's another three-pointer. Kemp. Acorn or Hamel grabs the rebound. Here is Dustin for Waterville in the backcourt to Meter. Meter, a very good player, being overshadowed a bit here in the ballgame by the kid on the other side, Harris. Spins it out to the right side. There's a three. They need it. Off. No good by Acorn. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that's the end of the first half, but it was a Lawrence show from start to finish. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to the Bangor Auditorium, joined on the floor by Lenny Cole, who saw many a great game down here for the Lawrence Bulldogs, but want to talk about a different subject. Lenny, of course, a tight end for University of Maine, was a freshman last year, a redshirt freshman. Kind of getting excited about going into a year where you can actually get some playing time, Lenny?
Oh yeah, sure am. You know, this year I had to pay my dues, sit on the bench and watch the other guys play, but this year we have 4 tight ends and usually go with a double tight end set, so hopefully I'll get some time next year.
Kirk Ferentz is taking a job at the Cleveland Browns, a new man aboard, Jack Cosgrove, but somebody you know pretty well. What do you think about that coaching move?
Well, I'm excited. You know, I'm happy for Coach Ferentz. It was a chance of a lifetime for him. I'm glad that we stayed with someone that was within the system, so, you know, a lot of things won't change. And you know, everybody's excited. Everybody's, you know, keep working hard and committed to what we're going to do next year.
You don't play much basketball. Maybe you do around the field house and such, but do you miss this, the big crowds out here and on the hoop courts?
Oh yeah, anybody that's played in Bangor will miss it. Yeah, I miss it. We I play in intramural leagues up at school, but it's not the same.
What do you think about Billy's performance in the Lawrence Bulldogs in the first half?
He's a little cold right now, but he's working hard on the boards. Aaron's shooting lights out right now. I'm just happy the Bulldogs are up.
Can you still school Billy?
Well, yeah, I think so. We haven't played in a while, so last time we played, it was a good little battle.
That's good. Lenny, best of luck this coming year and in the spring and such. Thanks for coming down to join us. Okay, Lenny Cole, of course, former Lawrence Bulldog, now for the University of Maine for that football team. And, of course, Jack Cosgrove, the new man there. Maybe we'll give Lenny some time. Back to the Bangor Auditorium to talk about the score earlier today, and tell you what's coming up in 90 seconds.
We are ready to go for another half of basketball. Kenny Lindelof and his group standing around down below trying to see if they can convince their troops to do it their way. And here's Mike McGee, and he's got his troops doing it his way.
And I figured out why Waterville's behind. Lawrence has 6 coaches. Waterville only has 5.
A lot of them down on the bench, aren't there?
Yes, sir. So I think that's a definite input.
Waterville shot 22.2%. Willie, you talked about that.
From the floor? How can you shoot 22% from the floor?
When it doesn't fall. Well, Lawrence 44%, 57 and 42. Lawrence on the foul line. That's not very good either team. But in turnovers, Waterville turned the ball over 12 times. Lawrence 8. And in rebounds, Lawrence is dominating the boards. They've just dominated the game.
The whole end, and it starts from that first stat, field goal percentage. I know Kenny's going to be saying, look, that's not really 22. We had the shots. We simply did not make them. 44% for Lawrence. That's not a great shooting percentage. But Waterville simply could not put the ball in the basket.
Oh, there's a future star. Is that Blodgett? I read that. That's a famous name in Lawrence. Hey, good-looking girl. Here we go. Lawrence High School leading it. They have Reynolds with the basketball. Down low, Cole puts it up left-handed, no good. Meter went up and grabbed the ball off. Now Lawrence has the ball game in their hands, but let's see what Waterville does to get back in it. Here is Dustin, picked up on the man defense. I say, Willie, it ain't over until Dick Vitale tells you it's over. From the circle, around and out by Scott, but that's their problem. The ball will not drop for Waterville, even when they get easy shots. That was a rimmer. They have not been hot. Deep outside, off, no good by Cole. They're going to get the ball back. Here comes Dustin back. Stolen by Lawrence. Look who's got it. In with it. Harris is knocked down. Taken down. He's complaining to the official that he was taken down too hard. He's not happy.
I don't think that was the case. That was a legitimate block on Meter's part, and his action, body action, just carried him into Harris. The one before that, though, that initiated all that was when Billy Cole came over, tried to make the steal off Meter, and he bit it. That's why the auditorium kind of shook with some vigor.
Here's the contact coming in. Oh, hey, I tell you, he put the hip to him. That was no question. It's a good block.
Nothing, what's the word we're looking for? Let's get out the thesaurus.
He put a nice hip into him, is what he did. Harris puts it in and puts it in again. When you're a star, you're going to get it. 33 to 15. He's got 23. He's got 5 3-point baskets. He's having a heck of a first half, and now into the second half. Here is Dustin. Ball is just thrown loose. They save it. Knocked loose and stolen by Reynolds. Here we go the other way. Reynolds down off the glass and foul. Nothing has changed. Billy Cole was trailing Reynolds going in. Scott committed a foul. It's just a runaway is what it is. And here comes a freight train. Going to get a timeout. There's the bang. Look at Scott. He knew what he was going to do. Tried to stop the hoop. We'll be right back. Mike McGee, the Lawrence head coach, has got it going his way. I want to tell you something. Kenny Lindelof, and these are two fine coaches. I've known Kenny for years. He's coaching as hard right now at Waterville as I've seen him coach. He just can't seemingly get the kids to get into the flow he needs to get them into it.
This is part of what athletics are. I mean, you dread these days when you have to play a game and things just are not, regardless of what you try to do, it's just not there.
Foul shot is good, and on the rebounding action, what do we got here? There's a foul called. It's an elbowing foul.
Yeah, I think right now the Waterville kids, you get athletes out here, and there's a lot of pride involved. They don't like what's going on. During that last time out, I think the meter kid explained it. He had a cup of water. He didn't even bother to put it down on the bench. He dropped it. Didn't throw it, just drop. I mean, he was disgusted.
Yeah, Chris Scott. But he took a hip and he was not happy, and I think we saw that on the replay. And they're going to see some of that here today. Ball is loose underneath. Dyer tried to save it, hit the upright, hit the underneath part of the backboard, and it comes away to Waterville. The Purple Panthers can't find any kind of cohesiveness here. This is a quarterfinal in Class A. Back out in front it goes to Scott, looking for the cutters. Now he lobs it back in low to Meter, puts it in. Darren Meter, very fine talent, but they're going to need everything he can put up there. They only have 17 points, and we're into the third period. It is 36-17, the Lawrence Bulldogs.
And Lawrence can do nothing wrong right now. Everything they're doing is going their way.
Some days it works that way, doesn't it?
Exactly right. You just hope you're on the good end, not the negative.
Down low to the right side to Harris. They double up on him every time they throw a bad pass. Here's the interception coming down with it. And Waterville will get a basket, and it's foul. Travis Dustin will get the hoop. The foul is going to be charged to Lawrence High School. It might be on Harrison. Check it. He's not in there. That's Richards.
Momentum now. Lawrence has got to, Waterville has to get in this. Something has to ignite them. Doesn't make any difference who it is, but somebody's got to take control, and we talked about in that first half of being more aggressive offensively.
Foul shot is good. All right, we're down to 16, 36-20 now. Waterville trailing by 16 to favored Lawrence. Don't forget, Lawrence is the favorite, even though they only won by 3 and by 5 during the regular season. This one has not been that type of ball game. I was dead wrong. I said it'd be 5 points at halftime, Willie. I was way off. Underneath. Put up and off. Noted by Richards. Second shot, Richards. Up and down.
Loose ball off the rebound. What happens? Whoops, there it is. There it is.
Everything is coming up roses for Lawrence Bulldogs. Here is Dustin going down right. Fires it back out to Scott. They do go underneath with it. There's a pump foul. Driving under his handle, and he got hit.
When you get exactly what you, I mean, you have good rebounding position, a shot goes up, something comes loose, yet it comes away and falls. Literally falls. So all you have to do is turn to the basket and lay it off the glass.
Richards changed hands, going up with it to boot.
If you're a Waterville player, you've got to be asking yourself, what have I got to do?
Hamill is on the foul line for the Purple Panthers. Puts it in the Klein, 38-21. And as strange as this sounds, Waterville not completely out of it. They are down, but in this three-point world that we live in, a couple of quick hoops could turn you around. But they've got to hit a few of those, and they missed that foul shot. They come away with a rebound action. Scott, stolen. Here's Reynolds going down. It's knocked loose and out, and Reynolds lost it. That was a very good play by Steve Hildreth, trailing on the play.
The guards for Lawrence, this is where their big plus is. They're very active when the ball goes in the low post, and they can come up with those steals.
Dustin, right side, baseline, can't get it. Pushing foul on the rebounding action. They're looking in the vicinity of Harris, I think. No, that's going to be on Billy Cole if it's 44.
Yeah, that's going to be 4-4. And I'll tell you, when you get and you play in this type of competition, this is where the game's going to be won. I mean, it's bang, thrash, crash. Kenny Lindelof said, the key is going to be the rebounding. Who cleans the glass?
Lawrence High School has been dominating most of the rebounding action. Off to the right side, bounce pass, stolen, restolen. Back to Lawrence again. Cole goes up with it, can't get it, he's fouled. Everything that they need to happen is happening. That looks like just another situation where they miss the shot, they end up getting something out of it. Going up on the line after the foul by Hamill, it's going to be Cole again, Billy Cole.
But Lawrence, too, they're capitalizing on a lot of these breaks. They're coming up with the loose balls. Granted, they may be getting some bounces, but a lot of them, they initiate them simply because they're really aggressive out on the floor.
Look at the shoulders on Cole. Think he lifts a little bit?
Well, I think he probably lifts only if it gets in the way, so he has to move it.
40-21. Waterville High School would like to get some perimeter shots. They don't get many. They're out there. They got a hand in their face at all times. Have trouble getting any kind of shot. They're trying to get the ball to Meter. Meter immediately has a guy, Dyer, on him. They have been able to score baseline. They do that time, Dustin. That's been their one shot, the baseline or backdoor. They've been able to get that to lead it, to cut the lead down 40-23. Long pass goes down the right side to Dyer for Lawrence. Back out to Reynolds. You know, I'm impressed by Reynolds. He's played a solid game for Lawrence High School today.
He's got some serious jabs.
Baseline, he's clobbered. He goes down. Player control foul.
Big skip court, or what we call a cross-court pass. The reason for that was Reynolds was over on that side where Meter was trying to help out. There's nobody on the back side. Now, if Waterville can pick that out and throw that big skip pass, they make something happen.
That was a nice assist by Darren Meter. Ball is stolen inbounds by Lawrence for two. Up and down Knights. That really hurt.
Yeah, that's unforgivable. You can't make mistakes like that, just throwing the ball inbounds.
42-23, there's a reach-in foul from behind to stop the action. Is coming on as Knights again for Lawrence High School to reach in and commit the foul, number 32.
And we're almost to a 20-point spread. And Lawrence, sign of a good team is you have a team down. If you're up by 20, you want to be up by 30.
Yeah.
You don't slow down.
Focus, attention, all of that type of nomenclature. You've got to play hard. You don't care about running to score in the tournament. You've got to win. There's a turnaround and a foul. Is up his Hamill with it, and he'll be double teamed and fouled. Going up with him with some pretty hefty meat. Billy Cole was with him.
Both coaches, again, not to be redundant about talking about our pregame, but they said, hey, there are no secrets. We played each other in the year. We played each other last year. We play in the summers. I mean, we know what we're going to do. It'll come down to execution and who gets the breaks.
Hamill on the line for the Purple Panthers. Off the front of the iron. Very quiet over on the other side of the gym here today. The Purple Power hasn't worked today for them. On this side, it's very noisy with the Lawrence fans. Off the iron, no good. Rebound again, away to big 44, Billy Cole. He's a man underneath there, isn't he? I tell you, when he starts moving, body starts flying. Here's Aaron Harris. He's been relatively quiet here in the third quarter. Feed down low. Goggin, cross court it goes. Look, he looked for his feet for three, put it in the air and missed it. Harris looked for three. Lead pass coming down the other way and a reach-in foul. Going down with it is going to be against Kelly Dyer. You know, years ago, when the three-point rule first started, if a coach saw a player do what Harris just did, he'd bench him. The coaches were saying, don't you dare look at your feet. Now that the three-point has been so entrenched, you know they're looking at their feet. Here is Meter. We've grown with that rule. Bad pass or shot. I'm not sure which one he was trying to do. He threw it away. Coming down with it, Harris. Here's Dyer, right side. Baseline, and it's blocked by Hamill. Out of bounds. Players flying into the cheerleading squads down there. The ball will go over to Waterville.
I tell you, there is some serious crashing, to quote. That ball will be heading out of bounds, the one we saw before where the foul was picked up.
Meter's three-point attempt is off for Waterville. It's saved by Hamill out in front. They have to put some threes up. Another one around and out, no good. Acorn and a whistle and a foul.
Right now, we're reverting to backyard basketball.
This should be a three-shot foul, by the way.
Yeah. By that, I mean, there's a little bit more bumping going on than there was the first 16 minutes.
42-23 is the score, and we'll be right back. Tim Lindlof desperately trying to get his troops to get it done. He's got a three-point attempt coming on the foul line. Crowd in here having fun this morning. Second game of the day, a third one.
All I can say is thank goodness for cola and ding-dongs.
Don't give me any commercials. I don't know how it's sponsored. Ding.
That's why
ring a ding. So what are you eating
See,
here?
that's generic now. I stayed away from the endorsements.
Ding dongs? I'm not allowed to eat ding dong. I'm not allowed to eat much of anything.
Well, they were at that store with a clock on it or something. I don't remember what. It's too early in the morning.
Foul shot is good. He's got three. Well, I had a bagel, and that's it. So I'm set for the day. 42-24. Ding dong. Willie, you're a ding dong, but I like you.
Yeah. Well, don't let that out.
Foul shot is good.
You know, they're closing everything around here because of tax and stuff.
42-25. The Waterville Purple Panthers need everything they can get here. See if they can't get back in this game. You got them all. Good foul shooting by Acorn of Waterville. 42-26. But when you're going to be forced to run, you're going to be forced to throw up the trifecta. You're going to have to do some things that maybe you don't want to do to get back in. Long pass goes down to the right side to Dyer. Dyer. And I would think that maybe Lawrence wants to take a little bit of the tempo out of the game.
Yeah, the last 5 or 6 minutes, it's gone the way of Waterville. They haven't picked up the lead, but it's certainly gone their way tempo-wise.
I think McGee called a timeout exactly for that reason. All right, there's Cole. Back out in front it goes to Kelly Dyer. Lawrence, 15-3. Here's Harris on the turnaround. Great move to the right. Hit it.
So you got to respect his three. You got to respect his long-distance shooting, and when you do that, head fake, and he puts it on the floor and goes by.
25, isn't it? Yep. 25 for Aaron Harris. Down the lane. It is up and off. No good by Dustin, and a rebound to Cole. Let me tell you, Cole is not going to get a headline tomorrow, but Cole is hurt Waterville very much off that board. Here is Harris with 25 points. Bumped around. They're on him. That was a great spin move. Here's Cole wide open for three. Off the iron. Rebound to Waterville. All right, the Panthers coming down. Here's Darren Meter. Very talented player. Dishes off underneath. Good look, but they missed it. They missed it.
In and out.
Acorn. That's the story of Waterville's game right there. If that doesn't tell you what's happened to these kids today, nothing else does. Wide open, great assist. It was in and came out. Some days life gets teaches.
It's not good.
And then it goes downhill from there.
Then it goes downhill.
Dyer. Hard. Cole doesn't want to dribble. Here's Harris. Off the iron, no good. Cole knocked it loose. There's what Cole's doing for this team. Underneath, Harris grabbed and thrown in the air. I tell you, you know, it's an old expression, boys will be boys, and these guys are physically going at it. That's a war that's going on underneath there. It's not for the faint-hearted. Aaron Harris on the line, the foul charge to Dustin, 30.
What's the responsibility of the coach to the team?
Keep it under control and win.
You give them the opportunity.
That's right.
You give them the opportunity to win, then the ball's in their court. And I think that's exactly what Lindlof's doing.
Foul shot misses by Aaron. Had a wonderful day. 44-26, 41 seconds to go, and this is an 8-quarter final. In the third quarter, foul shot good. We have a player coming in now. That's the reason for the delay. Harrison coming in for Lawrence. They're going to take Harris out, give him a little rest here. Mike takes him out. 26 so far today. And a full period of action to go. Here is Meter. Ball stolen. Out in front. That's happened too many times. And turnover. Basket by Dyer. And a foul. That's just insult to injury.
How many times have we seen that happen this morning? 3, 4. I mean, we're talking about three-point plays the old-fashioned way.
Kelly Dyer goes in. He gets whacked. He still scores. The foul is going to be charged to Hildreth. It's his second. When you turn it over, that's 2 you did not get, and that's 2 the other team may get. As you talked about the 4-point swing, this is going to be a 5-point swing if he makes it, and he doesn't. So in essence, it's a +2, but it's actually a -4.
Again, it's important that you distinguish between turnovers or takeaways. We're seeing a lot of turnovers by Waterville, not takeaways, simply turnovers. Poor judgments.
Meter for 3. That's in there. That's a nice shot. He's a good player. You got to be happy that that kid gets a chance to show his stuff here today. Out to the left side. There's wide open for Lawrence. There's the 3. Oh, a big one for Knights. 47-29. At the buzzer, off the iron. No good. Well, look at McGee out there hugging Knights. There's a lot of oomph there in that Lawrence team. Oh, now we got a fist fight going on between the mascots. That's Timmy Throckmorton on the right, and that's Mike Savage on the left. We'll be right back. We're back to live action again here at the auditorium. Waterville needing some help. Meter is stuffed, came back for the ball, puts it up and off, no good. Heavy contact, he saved it in bounds, but it goes out, should go to Lawrence. Dustin has 10 points. Meter has 10 for Waterville and 26 for Harris. See, Harris has got more points than 2 of those big scorers. Now, in fairness to Waterville, Ryan Bragg, who averages about 10 points, got a foul in the inbounds play, is not in the game. He's injured with an ankle. So that hasn't helped Waterville at all. That's going to be a foul on the inbounds play against Waterville. That's going to go down to the other end of the court. The foul is going to be charged to Darren Meter. Next, we'll go to girls basketball. Nokomis and Coney, and I do believe that we'll have Tom Winston coming in with Dick Meter next. Here to do the games. Foul shot is good. Goggin. You know, a lot of people have tried to put crowds into this auditorium for basketball, but nobody does it like the high schoolers do. This is a building that was built for high school basketball. The pros tried it here, Maine's tried it here, a lot of folks. Look at the crowd in here at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. Nobody does it like the high schoolers do it. Air ball thrown up by Meter, never got there. Rebound away now to Reynolds, coming down. Left side, 3-point attempt off, no good. Put up by Knights, loose ball, foul. That foul will be the first charge to Dustin of Waterville High School in the ball. The 4th charge to him. Getting ready to come in to replace him will be Neto for the Panthers. The foul shot is good by Goggin. We have a lot of games coming up. Nokomis Coney girls, Coney Bangor boys at 2, Old Town Stearns girls at 3:30, Skowhegan Madomic Valley at 5. Foul shots are good. Mount Blue Caribou, Caribou Lawrence. Then you have Hamden and Old Town. Tonight, the 1-8 matchup is tonight. A whole bunch of games, to say the least. Baseline drive up and down. Good job by Acorn. 54-31. The key thing now for the Panthers is to play hard. They're in big trouble. There's 7 minutes to go. And if they lose, they want to go out playing hard, and I'm sure they will. And for Lawrence, they want to stay focused. Can't celebrate early. Out to the right side, it goes to Goggin. Left-handed push up, no good. Put up by Richards. Waterville has the ball stolen by Reynolds, and it's rejected out of bounds by Hamill. Great recovery, but that has pretty much been the story of the game.
give Waterville an opportunity. Again, they're maybe getting a little lax defensively. First half, someone probably would have picked him up for a play of control, that last Waterville basket that we saw. That was not the case, though.
54-31. Lawrence dominating this game from start to finish. Reynolds out to the right side. Cross-court pass into the corner. Harris put it up and off. No good. He's exciting even when he misses. Going the other way on the foul, I think. Billy Cole had the ball, but they might be getting him.
They are.
I think so. That's a good call. He's very aggressive, very big. Crowd unhappy. He wanted to have a player possession foul. He put his hand behind his head.
Well, it went on him simply because gravity took over. He lost his balance and just fell on someone.
I'm glad it wasn't me. 54-31. Deep in the left side corner for the Purple Panthers. They've got to move it. Neto. Ball loose. Stolen by Lawrence. Going down. We'll have a foul. It's just a study in frustration. 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go. The toughest thing in athletics is when you played team twice, have been very close games, you know how you want to play, you want it to go at least close, and you can't get it to happen. The other team won't, rises a notch above. And this is what's going on out here right now. The foul is against Scott, his fourth. That's on Chris Scott. On the line shooting will be Goggin. He makes it 55-31. Anybody that saw Lawrence short in this tournament may rethink their procedures here. There are good teams in here, but Lawrence is one of them. Foul shot is good. 56-31. Out in front, Reynolds. I made a comment a couple of weeks ago when we were doing one of our high school broadcasts that we're all concentrating on two teams, Old Town and Bangor, and they're very good. Old Town, of course, finished the season undefeated. Lawrence 15-3, but there are a couple of teams in here that you must consider. Foul shot is good by the youngster Meter. And they have a history of playing well in the tournament. Now, I don't know that it carries era to era or week to week, but somehow Lawrence, in every sport, has a way of rising to the occasion. And they have turned it up a notch here today, beyond question.
I'll have my picks after I've seen Madonna play.
I'm looking forward to seeing them today, too. I don't know much about them. Foul shot is off, no good. I know they're very good. Meter on the rebound off the missed foul shot. Deep in the corner. It is off, no good by Acorn. Loose ball out. It's going to be a Waterville ball. 5:55 to go. 56-32. Lawrence leading. Coming in the ball game, Dustin for Waterville after a brief rest, and Neto will come out of the game. Deep, back out toward the midcourt area, comes into Meter. Meter now lobs it to the right side to Dustin. Dustin fakes, now puts it up, missed the shot. Cole on the rebound. Billy Cole. Pretty familiar name out of that area. In the backcourt. This is Aaron Harris. Handles the ball very well. Takes it on the high dribble, throws back against the flow. Out into the right side corner. Dyer steps in, doesn't take the shot. Goes back to Reynolds and in Cole. In the paint for the turnaround. Around and off. No good by Dyer. Waterville rebounding. Here comes Meter. Guerin changes hands, goes the other way with it, shovels it down into the corner to Dustin. Back to Meter for the three. Off, no good. Tap, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Aaron Harris.
Tapped up here to the announcing booth to Hale. Hale reverses and slams it. Well, it wasn't that close. It's a heck of a play, I thought.
Give me a trampoline. I'll be right back. Meter misses a three. Rebound up a couple of times. Back to Waterville. Waterville trying to get some last minute baskets. They get some. Hildreth hits one.
Hey, that was a great rebound. You know why? Because you had the big and went with it.
Got another timeout. Quick timeout. 56-34.
Now the missed shot, I would hope that we'd be able to pick up some audio on it. I guess that one was the one that made from the corner. The rebounding action is what started that before.
be right back. They were waving their flags here a moment ago. Backcourt foul against Neto. What they do is they have a big sign they hold up from Lawrence and says, wave your flags and yell, go Bulldogs go. And they got these little flags they wave, and got an impressive sight, Willie.
This could be a shoot-a-thon, foul shooting marathon. Neto was in there to foul. He'll come out. Next possession, I think you may see him back in.
Aaron Harris, 27 points. Don't have any trouble hearing it go through.
Almost sounds like when you're flossing, doesn't it?
Boom. 58-34, hit another one. 4:45 to go in this game, and it has not been a pretty one, and it has not been close. Been one-sided all the way. Waterville attacking back. They throw the ball loose. It's saved inbounds along the inline by Dustin along the baseline. Kicks it back out from Meter. Meter fires long, in and out. No good. They have not been able to buy that perimeter shot. There's a grabbing foul by Acorn. It's a 1-and-1.
And they're willing to trade 1 or 2 for 2 or 3 down at this end.
A lot of guys over press road sitting there taking notes. Johnny Coughlin over there, I see, working. Won't be long before John's working baseball. Mr. Hackett. Baseball. Johnny's the reporter today. Reporting for newspaper. Foul shot is good. Kelly Dyer on the line, a senior at 5'11" for the Bulldogs of Lawrence, who are roaring here today. They have opened up a 60-34 score. I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised by the score. Figured it might be a little closer. But it hasn't been, and that's the way it goes. They played twice on a regular year, 3- and 5-point games. There's a nice move by Meter in the paint inside the foul line, and he hits it. 60-36. Now the pressure's on after the basket. Harris bounces inbounds with it. Lead pass to Dyer. Dyer slows the action down. He was going to take it in and thought better of it. He's bumped and fouled by Acorn. We're apt to see a little bit of this now, as you said, because they're going to try to stop Lawrence every time. Meter has a lot of talent. He hasn't been able to showcase it effectively today. Behind the back, going into the paint, fades the shot. That's just good basketball. What else can you do? Kelly Dyer. 61-36, inside of 4 minutes now. First foul shot of the quarter. And missed one in this quarter. Foul shot's good, 62-36. Waterville has the basketball, and they need a lot in a hurry. Hildreth looking down low. Splits the defense. It's a double team and a foul, and it will go against Lawrence.
Yeah, Reynolds.
Power move by Hamill, 55. He was doubled up, went through it, didn't commit the control foul. Sometimes it's a very close call. He got doubled up. That's a good call. He got in there, and 42 was on him. Tommy Reynolds.
Reynolds has been getting away with a good pick on that. He timed it a little off this time.
Foul shot is good. The Waterville players and the Lawrence players know each other. Harris has been in an animated conversation with one of the Waterville players on the foul line. He's laughing. Waterville players laughing. They're saying, we'll see you next week. Foul shot is good.
Now what they're saying is, we playing at my house, your house tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be shooting tomorrow out in the parking lot. Stolen. Here comes Meter. Meter drives off the glass in. Nice turnaround for him. 62-40. Kids must know each other very well. Here's Harris down to Cole. He walked with it. Meter made an excellent steal. Meter has 15 points with this one. Good talent. Look at the float.
Thing that opened that up when he looks away. Fake the pass, get the defense to hesitate for a minute, then go by.
Meter coming back at the foul line. He's off balance. He threw it up. No good. Reynolds came away with a loose ball. All right, Harris again over the time stripe. He'll be picked up by Meter. The two guys going at it. They double up on him. Out to Dyer. Dyer cuts it out, takes it down the left side toward the baseline. Bounce pass underneath Cole off the glass and in.
Double team, someone has to be open.
We got 2-on-1, that's for sure. 64-40. Lawrence breezing toward the semis. Waterville is stuffed by Lawrence again. They steal the ball. Here comes the other direction. Harris going down the sidelines. Meter may be called on the block. The coach and the star hugging each other. They're all celebrating early today. 2:41 to go. The reason they were laughing was Meter was asking for a player control foul. Harris was tripping as he went down, and the coach ran out and caught him. They were laughing about it. Subs coming in the ball game. Waterville will send Hinion in. Coming out of the ball game, Acorn on the line shooting Aaron Harris. Tired, you bet. This is a, tell you right now, talk about athletes, this is a game for a runner, a weightlifter. It's just so many elements to basketball, 65-40. And if you watch the pro games slowed down in slow motion, it's almost like a ballet at times, the movements. It's a great game. It's good. Harris now at 30 points. There's a long three. Meter doesn't get it. Rebound comes down to Cole. Clears it out of there to Harris. 30 points for Harris. He's having a wonderful day. Aaron back in the corner with it. Low to the court. Comes back. Bounces it down. Gives it up to Cole. Cole's grab. The foul on Chris Scott of Waterville, number 40. Mike Thurston, one of the two referees out there today. Had him last night, didn't we?
Saw him last night.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I was leaving the auditorium around 11, Mike was going by with, it looked like a sleeping bag, but I'm not sure.
I said to him, coming out of the ball game now, checking out, Goggin is out of there. I said to Mike Thurston, I said, you guys were good. I thought you called a real good game last night. And he said, thank you. I said, however, on instant replay, there was one. And he said, I thought you'd have me once. So, well, we got to tell you, we're watching. I think he's a good official. I really do. I think they're all good, but he's done an excellent job through the years. Editorial. Foul shot missed, driving with the ball to Dustin. It's going to be a foul. Always say good things. Two minutes and 18 seconds to go. The foul is going to be charged to a sub. Knights, well, he's not much of a sub. He's been in and off the bench. He's played a lot today. Travis Dustin. You know what a tough job the officials have when you watch it on instant replay, and then you have to really wonder what you've seen. And we proved that with the instant replay in professional football. Not always easy. And you're making a call from your angle instantly. 66-40. Not an easy job. Those guys earn their money. They don't do it for the money. Foul shot is good. 66-41. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go. Comes inbounds. Harris with it. Got to have a love of the game. That's why we're here. Here's Cole with it. Deep out in the three-point area. Cole drives like him. I think he helps his team tremendously. Look at him. Look at him underneath. Look at the physical battle he's having right now. It's a hard man to handle. There's Harris for three. Put it in the book. Field goal. 69-41. 33 points for him. Don't blame him. Keep him in there. Let him have his day. The sunshine. Down low. It is up, tap, up and down. I think the tap is going to go Hildreth. 69-43. Missed by Hamill. Hildreth, number 30 on the tip in. 69-43, a minute 32 to go. And Lawrence roars toward the semifinals. Dyer with it. Loose ball, sideline out of bounds. We have more coming up. A whole host of characters coming in now.
Harris in no way is going to take a layup when he's got the feeling that he can pull back and let a three go.
Harris is coming out of there now. 33 points, I think, on the day for him. Mike McGee is hugging and grabbing and kissing and throwing him up in the air. Mike, 2 games to go yet, Mike. 2 games to go.
Mike, I think, probably watched that program. The guy hugs everybody. You know, you can buy that videotape.
Yeah. Mike's a happy camper. Hey, let me tell you something. He was a little bit, this is a nervous game. He won by 3, he won by 5. He's coming in here, you don't know what's going to happen, and he's winning it going away.
Different coaching. Some coaches get very emotional.
The hack loose, knocked it loose. Harris, 33 points. He had 6 3-point baskets. Fantastic performance today and every day. He's been that way all season. Waterville down low, off the iron. It is no good by Bowen. They got the steps in there now. It's up and down by Hanley for Waterville. 69-43. It'll be a foul called on Lawrence as we wrap this one up. That foul will be charged to Nolan, who is in the ball game. There'll be another day for Lawrence, and for Waterville, they'll finish with their 7th loss of the year. Gave it a shot. Wasn't to be today. Off the iron, no good. One more. 49 seconds to go. Violation on the line. They'll give him one more. The story of boys basketball in the tournament this year has been the haircuts. Everybody's had a different kind of haircut this year. You want to see some haircuts, you want to see some of the swimmers in that NAC swimming meet up to Orono. The guy came in with a mohawk yesterday. Al Hackett and I together couldn't get enough hair to make a mohawk. 69-45. There's a foul at the other end as they go down. Some of the subs gets in here, puts his hand in there, and the officials are learning all the rules here now. That's going to be a foul against Waterville. It's going to be on Hanley. That'll be his first. And on the line shooting is Patterson for Lawrence. Patterson, they're just putting all the subs in there. Another kid, Kelly, will come in. As we rack this one up, 69-45. Mike's, he saves it. Knights gets a nice hug. The starters, he was throwing in the air and catching. Foul shot is off, no good.
He knows who pays the bills.
Bet your life. Get ready for more of it coming up. Patterson on the line. He missed that one to the left, like a field goal, wide to the left, ball on the floor. They'll tie it up. We'll have the possession rule to Lawrence. All of these games will not be close. And this one wasn't, but they are exciting and interesting. Ball is knocked out of bounds. If you study the game and watch it, know the little nuances of the game, it's fun to watch it no matter what the score is. It's a lot more exciting when it's close, but they're not all going to be close. Waterville putting it in and out, no good. Pinion, that's been one of their problems today. The ball won't fall. Now, Lawrence has played exceptionally well and terrific defense, but Waterville has not been able to get the ball to fall. Collision, player control foul, Travis Dustin. When you see the hand behind the head, he's not scratching his head to figure it out. That is a player control foul. The player that made the contact had control of the basketball. Used to be easier when it was block and charge. Coming out of the ball game now, more subs for the Bulldogs. Coming down court with it. Scott, we're into 5 seconds. This should do it. Stolen. Hiltz, I wanted to get him, and he stole the ball. Steve Hiltz. No, that's not Steve. John Hiltz. I thought it was Steve Hiltz. John Hiltz stole the ball, and a terrific victory. Lawrence over a game Waterville team that just couldn't do it after scaring Lawrence twice this year.